Guys, it's your girl T, and I want to go ahead and shout out Maggie Baruco. Maggie sent me this story, and it's coming out of our favorite state, Ratchet Florida. So what's going on now in Florida is that you have a 14-year-old boy. He's in the 8th grade, and he is being charged with felony child pornography. So what happened is that him and his girlfriend, she's 13 years old, they were on Kik together. And Kik is a social media app where you guys can send, pictures of each other. So they decided to start sex texting each other. So the girl was sending him picture messages of herself, butt naked, playing with herself, masturbating, all that other stuff. So then the boyfriend asked her for some more pictures, and she refused. She said that she didn't want to send him any more pictures. So he got so upset that he decided to post her picture on Facebook for the world to see. This whole situation is just messy as hell. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
Phone have the app on it right here, Kik. Pasco County deputies say a 14-year-old boy was using the Kik app to send pornographic photos. He's one of a dozen people facing felony child porn charges tonight. He's 14. Fox 13's Anjali Lone is at the sheriff's office with more on this disturbing investigation. Anjali?
Yeah, Kelly, investigators say the arrest of this middle school student should serve as a big wake-up call to parents everywhere. They say the 14-year-old, as you said, was using the application Kik with his then girlfriend, who was just 13 years old. They say the girl sent him several pornographic pictures of herself, but when she decided to stop sending the lewd photos, detectives say the boy became angry. They say he took the pictures and posted them on his public Facebook page and even tagged the girl in them. The girl's mother saw the pictures online and immediately called the cops. In just minutes, Pasco County detectives were able to trace them back to the 14-year-old suspect, and now that boy is facing felony child porn charges.
This kid was being vindictive. This kid was trying to ruin this little girl's life. And the sad part is, once those photos go up on the website, on the Facebook page, they're there for eternity.
The sheriff says this app used to send these lewd pictures is becoming ever more popular with teens and sexting. Kids don't even have to have a smartphone to use Kik. They can log on through a computer or even an iPod. Sheriff Nacco encourages parents to check all of their kids' devices to make sure you can stay up to speed on what exactly they're doing on them. Kelly?
You guys just watching news clip. So this story is causing a lot of outrage, and a lot of folks are also comparing it to a story that happened earlier in the month. If you guys remember, back in Virginia, there was a 16-year-old girl who earlier this month, she was charged with child pornography as well. But it wasn't child pornography of her uploading to the internet of other people. She was uploading pornographic images of herself onto Twitter. So this caused a huge debate. A lot of folks were upset. They're saying, how can you charge her with child pornography when she's, showing pictures of herself? But they're saying that they were going to charge her because she was putting other people at risk. Because when she put these pictures on social media, anybody could click on them, including other adults like you and I, and then we can get in trouble for seeing child porn. So they arrested her and she got in trouble as well. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys this news clip, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
Police charged a James City County teen with child pornography after they say she posted nude pictures of herself on social media.
The story had a lot of parents asking why such a harsh charge. And 10 on your side's Lauren Compton has that answer tonight. Lauren?
Well, Tom, police say there is some gray area when it comes to these charges in teens, but what makes this case different is the nature of the photos. Parents will want to listen to this because what your kids might think is simply a racy photo could actually be child porn. Our story looks at the difference. It's a story that has some people scratching their heads.
Distributing child pornography? But she is a child. I don't know what to think of that.
It's a story that has some raising eyebrows.
I don't know about that charge. I don't know that side of the story.
I don't think she should be charged with child pornography because she's a child herself. So, if she was 18 or older, of course, but not being 16 herself.
It's a story every parent with a tech-savvy kid should listen to. A 16-year-old James City County girl charged with distributing child pornography. Police say the teen crossed the line of sexting to child porn because the photos were lewd, showing her private parts. The photos were shared with multiple people on Twitter. Photos that never completely will go away from the internet once posted.
Not just friends, but also strangers or anyone else out there. We have no idea who's out there watching, and you never know who's going to see what you post.
Parents, you may be surprised to know investigators say they are seeing a surge in these type of cases because teens see it as harmless sexting. And get this, if your child receives lewd pictures of a child and then further shares them, they too could be charged with distribution.
And I would hope that they would not then forward it on to their friends, because then they become guilty also of distribution of child pornography, whether they know that or not.
To keep your kid from this tangled viral mess, investigators suggest doing random checks of your child's phone, monitoring their online activity, and installing filters on their internet. They're hoping this serves as a cautionary tale to parents and kids that posting nude photos comes with strict penalties. Now, the photos of the teen have since been removed from Twitter. Police say she will not have to register as a sex offender. Now, that's because this is being handled in the juvenile intake system and not in court.
So you guys just watched the news clip, and both of these stories are sad. You know, they're trying to charge this young boy with a felony, but yet and still, nobody's saying anything about this young girl who was also sending naked pictures of herself. I also feel like she shouldn't be sending naked pictures of herself either. You know, this is why we have to have discussions with our kids. I've talked to my son about the same thing. It was an odd conversation, but I had to let him know, you know, when he was talking to this little girl, and she was sending a lot of picture messages of herself because I was going through his phone. Nothing pornographic, nothing sexual, but you know, like really flirty pictures and stuff like that. And I told him point blank, she's not to be sending you any sex messaging pictures, no pictures in her bra, no naked pictures for sure, because you guys can get in trouble for that. She can get in trouble for sending them, and you can get in trouble for receiving them. We have to be honest with our kids. You know, as much as, you know, kids are curious about sex, and you have to realize that we live in a society that is so overtly sexual, it makes no sense. You know, we love to punish kids and go off on kids and say that kids are growing up too fast, but then in the same breath, we as adults make people like Kim Kardashian popular. This woman has been able to build an empire only because her mother leaked out her sex tape. She had sex on camera when she was about 19 years old, and now she's famous. Just like Paris Hilton, she has sex on camera, and she became famous because of that as well. So we say to girls, respect yourself, cover your body up. You know what I'm saying? It's all about brains and getting good grades in school, but then in the same breath, we prop up Kim Kardashians and the Paris Hiltons and anybody else who's overtly sexual. You know, so it's a double-edged sword, and these kids, unfortunately, are getting mixed messages. You have adults and video vixens who post, you know, explicit content online all the time. Well, a lot of these kids are watching that, and they think that that's what it means to be sexy, and that's what it means to get a boyfriend. So a lot of these young girls have it misconstrued. A lot of these young boys have it misconstrued. And I think that, you know, instead of constantly blaming the children and coming down on the children and giving these children felonies and throwing them in jail, we need to realize that we live in a very overtly sexual environment. We need to start having conversations with our children in the schools and letting them know that this type of behavior is not okay. It's not okay for you to be on Twitter posting, you know, pictures of yourself naked at 16. You know, but unfortunately, you have a lot of these celebrities who do that, and that's what a lot of these kids look up to. You know, you have pictures of Miley Cyrus. Granted, she's grown, but don't act like kids are not looking up to her, thinking that that's what it means to be sexual, and that's what it means to be sexy, and that's what it means to be popular. A lot of kids are looking up to these celebrities, and they're emulating everything they see. Rihanna does the same thing. She posts topless pictures of herself all the time on Instagram. So I just think this whole situation is sad that a lot of these kids are not looking at felony charges, but the boy was wrong, point blank. You do not post naked pictures of your girlfriend regardless of the situation. That was wrong and that was foul, and those pictures can never be taken down. When something goes up on the internet, there is no delete button. There is no, oh my bad, take it down. Once it hits the net, that's it. People take screenshots, people download those pictures. These pictures are forever on the internet, and we need to make sure that kids realize that. There is no delete button. There is no mistake button. Once you post on the internet, it's forever out there. Point blank. So anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on these two stories. How do you feel about the young boy getting a felony for posting the pictures? Do you also feel like the young girl is to blame as well because she sent the naked pictures? And then also, how do you feel about the 16-year-old who was being charged as well for posting naked pictures of herself on Twitter? So let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy story. All right, deuces.